guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the newest release from Scream Factory, and that is Dead Silence on 4K. But if you guys are into 4K reviews, movie reviews, some tech, and some video game stuff along the way, then please consider subscribing because we do all that here. So in 2006, the writers, directors, and producers of Saw, James Wan and Leigh Whannell, gave us Dead Silence. Now, Leigh Whannell was actually Adam in Saw, if you guys remember the original Saw movie. He was the one that woke up in the bathtub, ended up getting locked in the room in the end and dying. So that's who Leigh Whannell is, if you want to put a face to it. But he also helped write and direct, well, I don't know if he directed the first one, but he helped write the first Saw. But anyway, same thing here. He helped write this movie, and one of his best friends, James Wan, is the director here. So this is actually a first-time watch for me. I don't know how this one slipped by me because this is right up my alley. This is like that early 2000s horror movie. I don't think I would label it as a slasher because it's not really a slasher. Maybe on the supernatural side, we could say, you know, I don't want to spoil it for too many people who haven't seen the movie, because I think there's some people out there who haven't seen it, because I haven't seen it. Yeah, you know, it's a good watch. It's a quick movie. It's 89 minutes for the theatrical and 91 minutes for the uncut. I watched the theatrical version, but we'll get to that in a minute, why I watched that. But yeah, so it's like a small town. There's some obsession with ventriloquists and a small town curse, and you know, it's not the best story in the entire world, but hey, us horror fans not always getting the best stories, but you know, they're fun movies. They're in and out 90 minutes. They respect your time, and they're fun watches. So I think this one is definitely worth a watch. I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5 as far as stars go on Letterboxd. I'm probably going to put it in the 3 out of 5 camp, which is, you know, that's a passing grade. That's about a 65-70%, you know, so not a terrible movie. If you're a horror fan, I think you'll like this. The way this movie opens up immediately, I was like, oh, that's like Saw. Like, not the like beat for beat or any of that, but just like it had a vibe like Saw did. It had like that blue, very cool tint to the colors, and it was like a blue filter almost over the movie, just to like give it like a cold, eerie vibe, I guess. And that's kind of how Saw was, so that's kind of where I make the connection there. And you know, their fingerprints are all over this because it's the same writer, director, producer. They like to throw that on the cover because in one of the special features on this, they actually said that they kind of just slapped this movie together really quick right after Saw came out, because I guess the investors or the studio didn't really have too much faith in the movie Saw, so they said, all right, just make something else quick, so if that fails, we have something else to fall back on. And then they came up with Dead Silence. And I mean, if you came up with this off, like, you know, firing from the hip, it's not too bad. I mean, I think Saw is a much better movie, and obviously it had all these sequels, and most of them are pretty good. But like I said, it's a fun movie. It goes by pretty quick, and I think it's worth a watch. So, how are you going to watch it? Let's talk about the 4K now, because there is a previous Blu-ray, which I did not have to compare it to, so I will tell you how my experience was with this 4K. So this is my first time owning this in my collection, so I do not have the previous Blu-ray to compare this to. But this is Scream Factory's newest 4K release this week, along with The Exorcist, and I believe Wanted was also Shout or Scream Factory as well. So pretty big week for Scream, or Shout Factory, however you want to say it, because they are the same company. But once we get this, we have the slipcover right here, and obviously the same artwork on the inside. Now, I believe if you bought this directly from Scream Factory, you got an alternate slipcover, which I actually really like. Maybe we'll show that up on the screen somewhere around here. I would have preferred that one and kept the box art on here, so just there's an alternate, there's a variation. So, you know, I mean, I like when that happens, but I got mine on Amazon. It's all right, you know, it's a cool cover, but I like when they change it up. There is no reversible artwork, and we have 2 discs in there. You got your 4K and your regular Blu-ray. Different disc art, so at least they gave us that. That's nice. Now, one thing I noticed, I don't understand why, and it's generally like with Amazon. Now this, if you guys are physical media collectors, you'll know that like a lot of these, there's different variations of like cellophane and wrapping on Blu-rays and 4Ks. Now, if you look at like the plastic on this, it's like all wavy. You guys ever get the ones where they're wavy and it just has like that shrink wrap on there? So when I popped this off, it had the other style one, like the more factory one where it's got the folds and all that stuff in it. And it almost looks like this was unwrapped and then shrink wrapped again. And I think the shrink wrapping is what makes the cover all wavy. So I'm not entirely sure. Like there wasn't a digital code here. Maybe Scream Factory printed discs, sealed them up, and then maybe there was like a misprint, and they had to open them all up and replace the disc, and then they just shrink wrapped them all because only maybe the manufacturing company does the shrink wrap and they did it in-house. That's my only guess. I can't confirm that's what happened, but are yours the same way? Does yours have like that weird, just the shrink wrap on it, just like that cheap looking one, instead of the one with the folds? Because there is differences in the wrapper. Not that it's really a big deal. It doesn't feel new when it comes in this type of wrapper. And even the plastic's a little beat up here on the corner, and shows some signs of foul play. But I mean, the discs are both in perfect brand new condition. There's no marks. Everything worked fine. I played both discs, so I mean, no harm, no foul, I guess. But it was just a little strange when I popped the slipcover off this, because a lot of the times, even with Scream Factory, they'll have that wrapper over the slipcover. So I'm not entirely sure what happened here, but that's just my experience. I'm curious if you have the same issue. Anyway, so that's our packaging. Now let's talk the 4K disc. So as I mentioned earlier, I do not have a previous Blu-ray to compare this to. However, this 4K disc is a new 4K master. They don't say from a camera negative, they just use the word 4K master. So I've seen them use it from a 4K negative or from the original camera negative. So that's just going off the information that they give us. I don't think it looked bad. I think it looked very good. The resolution, at least. The resolution looked fantastic. It had that blue tint to it throughout most of the movie. So that's take it or leave it thing. I think that was by design. The colors were there. It's a kind of a dark, eerie, a lot of grays and blues, and again, that blue filter on it. It's not the most beautiful looking movie, but it's also not designed to be. So now the Blu-ray that is in this box also has the new 4K master downscaled to 1080p Blu-ray on that disc. And then that's just the theatrical version, where the unrated, uncut version, which is only on the Blu-ray, does not have any mention of a new 4K scan. So, I don't see a huge difference between the theatrical and the uncut on the Blu-ray, and then the jump up from the 4K, again, from the 4K master Blu-ray to the 4K master 4K disc. It's not the biggest jump. However, the Dolby Vision really does help in those darker scenes, and there is a lot of them. So yes, the 4K is a step up over the Blu-ray, and I just do not have the old previous Blu-ray release to compare it to. I can guarantee that this is definitely the best it's ever looked, for sure, because Dolby Vision generally never fails us. I think that the disc does look great. It's just the way it was shot and the way it was designed is not meant to be the best looking movie there is. But this is just my opinion. As far as sound goes, it has a DTS HD Master 5.1. It actually sounds really good. They really got creative with the soundtrack here, because this movie is about a ventriloquist, so that's kind of about throwing your voice. And it actually scared the shit out of me a couple times. Like the rear speakers just get super loud out of nowhere with like voices and creepy like little noises and creepy voices too, actually. And it was pretty cool. They were able to really use the surround sound with this movie, and I think horror and action movies really use the best, sci-fi too, but sci-fi action, I think they really take advantage of the surround sounds the best. And I think they really nailed this one. Again, it's not a Dolby Atmos track. I know we love the Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos combo. We did not get that here, but I think the soundtrack is just fine, and it does sound pretty damn good. So overall, visual and audio quality, definitely pretty good. I don't know if it's worth picking up at full price. If you are a slipcover guy, I think they guarantee you slipcovers for the first 3 months, and then you're shit out of luck, or you could get lucky, who knows. But again, it's an okay movie. It's not the best movie ever. If you're a big fan, actually, there is a decent amount of special features which are only on the Blu-ray disc, by the way. So there is no special features on the 4K disc. You put the 4K disc in, you have play movie, chapter select, and set up to change from the DTS 5.1 to a 2.0. That's it. So you go into the Blu-ray and it's jam-packed with extras. And there's a new interview with Leigh Whannell, which is Adam from Saw. And I actually ended up watching that. It was only like 12 minutes long, but it was pretty interesting, pretty cool to hear him talk about Saw and the making of this movie, and that's how I found out the fun fact about how they threw this together. There's an interview with James Wan, there's some deleted scenes, there's an alternate ending, an alternate opening, theatrical trailer, and just some other little featurettes. So there is actually a very good amount, at least an hour or two's worth of special features on here. So if you're a fan of the movie or just a fan of James Wan and Leigh Whannell, I think the special features are definitely here for you, because they're pretty cool. And I don't really watch special features, and I actually found myself, I watched like about a half hour's worth of special features, and I never do that. So can I recommend picking this up? At like that $27, $30 range, it's kind of hard to justify really any movie at that price. I think that's pretty expensive, especially if we're not getting reversible cover art, we're not getting alternate slip covers, and we're not guaranteeing us slip covers later on. The 2 discs is nice, you get the Blu-ray and the 4K, but I think it's kind of bullshit that we didn't get the uncut version on the 4K disc, or even a new 4K master of the uncut version. So that's why I watched the theatrical version over the uncut. So it was only a 2 or 3 minute difference, and from the research I did, it's just a few scenes extended, and some use of really bad CGI with a tongue or something like that is what I was seeing. So I did not watch the uncut version myself, but according to forums, that's actually the preferred film, would be the uncut. So it is kind of a bummer that we don't really have the choice to watch that on the 4K disc. At least you could watch it on the Blu-ray, but it's not really worth buying this 4K set if you're going to watch the uncut version only. So if you want the theatrical version and you're okay with watching that, then the 4K might be for you. The special features, there's a good amount. The packaging, okay to good, like good to okay. It's not the best, not the worst. At least we got a slipcover here. Wanted, we didn't even get a slipcover. Dolby Vision, DTS 5.1, I would have liked an Atmos. Again, I think it's a middle-of-the-road release. I think it's a middle-of-the-road movie. So overall, I would probably give this release a 7.5. Visually, I think it looked very, very good. But that blue tint, it's just the era, I don't hate it. I don't love it. The audio I actually think sounded very, very good. I think it was a fantastic audio track. And there's a good amount of special features, but I feel a little left out that only ordering through Scream Factory you get the alternate slipcover, which I would have preferred to have, because it changes up the look of it a little bit and adds some variety to it. But overall, not a bad release. But again, in that $30 price range, I think that's a bit high. I think this would be great around the $20 mark. But if you're a fan of the movie and you really want to see it in the best way possible, and money is no object to you, then I would say go for it. I don't think you'll be disappointed in the video audio quality. But my biggest negative is the fact that the uncut is not remastered in 4K. Alternate slipcover is a bit of a bummer, but some people don't care about the slipcovers. That's just me. But overall, again, 7.5. If you guys like this review and you found it helpful, then please comment down in the comment section. Let me know your experience with this movie. You guys are into this movie. Are you guys going to pick this up? If you do want to pick it up, add it to your collection, we will post our affiliate link down in the description below. No extra cost to you, helps us out greatly. And with that all being said, have a great day, guys.